who would like to remind us what happened last week?
Corwin and Lycra went on an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
That was last week. Yeah, you met a dead guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, met a dead guy. Interacted with his wife. Things were odd, which is to be expected. Found a creepy cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
And creepy things were happening.
Mm-hmm. And then we went back to the creepy cemetery, and there was a rune or something on a grave that I scratched out and was like, okay, that's done.
Even though some people were doubting.
The skeptic among you.
Weren't doubting, just didn't think it was that important.
Yeah, there was some doubt there.
Yeah, just didn't think it, like, they're dead, who cares?
Oh, lots of people care. That's the problem.
The dead care.
And then we went to Liz's home, the Temple of Dioscuri, and talked to her dad or father.
Father.
And he can't hear the Dioscuri anymore. So that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was... Sorry. I was just pointing out that it's odd that he could while Liz was the cleric. Because, as far as we know, on the mainlands, both continents, not how it works.
Just for clarification there has always, at least in the recorded history of Liz's temple, there has always been both a cleric and a paladin of the Dioscuri.
Mm-hmm. I think Corwin or someone threw out the theory that maybe their power got, for lack of a better term, nerfed after this thing happened, and that's why they had to draw back that extra juice. Is that kind of how I think I worded it kind of that way? Like, sorry.
Liker got a letter from someone in Neurona about some weird happenings that she wants us to come and check out. And then
I don't know if that information ever got out.
No, I think it was just me and Lycra. And then Liz found something suspicious, and that was kind of where we ended.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I had thought of another way to describe the suspicious thing. You know how in Star Trek sometimes a thing will get teleported into another thing and like half of it's poking out? That's what the rock looks like.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
See, I was thinking it looked more like what happens when in Full Metal Alchemist,
No.
when something gets reformed and it doesn't look perfect.
Not like that, no.
Something in the mill got telefragged. Someone is making bread.
Yeah, I think that about covers it. One thing I wanted just to check with you, David. You are remembering who that person that sent you that letter is, correct?
Yes, the ship captain as Estella might barely remember. The leader of the settlement as Lycra remembers.
Leader of the settlement, yes. She was never a ship captain. So she is a native of Murata who, when she was very young, moved to Vroggoll and ended up joining Vroggoll's army and da-da-da-da-da. And she was assigned to be the, I guess, special emissary of the government of Vroggoll to help the settlement of Nerona, direct the money around, make sure it gets where it needs to go, and that kind of thing.
Okay, I must have gotten the names mixed up because I thought that there was a person on the ships when we were doing the whole back and forth with the boats thing. My bad.
There may have been. I might have just reused the name. I don't remember. Different person then.
It's all good.
Yeah. So Lycra had worked fairly closely with her during the 6 months when Lycra was out there doing ambassador type things. Okay, so as Liz has spotted this oddity and you all are investigating the area, what do you do next?
I want to go look at this thing. It has been pointed out to us, right?
I believe Liz had pointed it out to everyone, and there had been a couple questions asked. Is that right, Ty?
I believe it was, hey, Father, what's behind there? Then why is there a rock in the wall?
Yeah.
And I think Estella and Lycra are still back in the building.
Okay.
But if you want us to join the others, that makes sense eventually. So
yeah, we can start being away from this.
Yeah, we'll say there had been a brief discussion, and just as that part was finishing, the two of you walk up.
Okay. What did Liz's father say?
I don't remember exactly what he said. Basically, it boils down to I've never been down there. Not in like, oh, this just appeared. It's like, yeah, it's just a hallway that kind of goes to nowhere. But there is some recordings of various paladins and clerics having a closer to their god experience down that hallway to seemingly nowhere.
What'd you find?
Something's wrong with that wall.
Fine, wrong?
Well, you see, that pebble there on the smooth wall shouldn't be there.
Yeah, and as you examine, it's larger than a pebble. I would say it's maybe, I don't know, 6 inches that you can see, but it is quite clearly half of a rock sticking out of the wall.
I'm gonna go
at ground level. It's like resting on the ground, not like halfway up or anything.
Okay, I'm gonna go examine these rocks. What kind of rocks are they?
Igneous sediment. I don't know, they're freaking rocks.
But there are like 2 different kinds of rocks.
Well, there's the stone of the wall.
Yeah.
And then like a rock. And so you're outside, and this is kind of a cul-de-sac between 2 buildings, basically.
Okay.
So there's a stone walkway leading down this cul-de-sac. And the type of stone that you see sticking out of the rock wall is similar to what you see on the ground around the area.
I would like to use my detect magic sight.
I don't know that you detect anything. I assume that the player has kind of an idea what this is. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
Maybe I don't exactly know what this is.
Okay. Then we'll just go with you detect no magical aura.
Okay.
Looking at it from a more scholarly aspect, being an archaeologist and stuff, is it a natural thing in the stone? Is it worked? Is it?
No, it is not worked. It does not look natural, no.
So it doesn't look natural, but it's not worked with tools.
Well, let me correct. The rock and the wall itself seem natural. It's the arrangement of them that is not natural.
As in, there's no sign of, for example, someone taking a hammer and hammering the outside wall rock into the wall.
Correct.
Lycra, once Estella's kind of looked at it for a moment, scoots in and tries to inspect it herself. Just maybe an investigation. See if there's anything to find.
Go ahead and do an investigation. And I still feel like I'm not super describing this well, so I'm going to post one more picture that might help.
Please.
It's as if this stone and wall were part of a Bethesda game. Freaking save image, come on.
Apparently this is the kind of week we're in for.
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was picturing.
Okay, yeah, you don't really gain any further information. The one thing that does happen, I think even on a 12, is you just reach down to touch it and like see if you can move it, and it is if the wall and the rock are one. You cannot budge it an inch.
That is peculiar.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, does it sound like just doing a couple, like taking like a sample hammer or something and just tapping the wall? Does it sound solid?
Yes, there is no discernible difference between this wall and the one next to it.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but most magic that like teleports a thing or moves a thing from place A to place B, if there's something in that space, it just shunts the object out. It doesn't get stuck like this, right? This isn't like somebody tried to misty step this rock and it just got stuck.
As the DM, I am not familiar enough with all the teleportation magic to give you a positive or negative on that. Mm-hmm. However, I will tell you that's what it looks like happened.
Mm.
As the character Lycra would say, yes, no, it hurts like hell.
Okay, yeah.
She has definitely fucked up a dimension door one time.
Yeah, it like dumps you out, but that is certainly a good description for what it looks like happened.
I look at Liz. Well, this is weird, but I really don't know what to do with this.
Liz goes up to the wall and holds her holy simso up. Just tries to look over everything. She is trying to figure out what the hell is up with this thing.
Make me an insight check.
This dice are telling a story.
Okay. Is that normally at advantage? I'm fine with it being at advantage anyway, but...
Yes.
Okay.
Insight and investigation she gets advantage on.
So you remember that scene in Star Wars where they break into the detention center and Han gets on the intercom and he's like, everything's fine, okay, we're all fine, everything's fine, how are you?
Yeah.
If you're getting that feeling from the wall.
Like the wall is lying to her?
Yeah.
Is there anything like a split in it, a separation? Anything looks like this thing can open?
No. You see, it's just, there's like bricks and you see like the mortar joints and everything, but nothing that looks like it would open.
Can Liz look to try and figure out how thick this wall should be?
Sure. I don't know what kind of roll that would be. Give me a structural or engineering roll.
Like a straight in check?
Yeah, that's fine. Good with that.
I mean, I would like it in something else, but
You can certainly argue for something else. I can't really think of what else it would be besides in.
I can't either.
Okay.
And I don't think a 9's going to work to it.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, it's as thick as where it is makes sense for it to be.
So Nibbles,
Hello.
I couldn't take myself for chiming in.
No, it's not.
Can I touch the wall?
Yes.
There's no illusions around. Okay, that's it.
I mean, an absolute last case scenario, if you want, I can disintegrate the wall.
That seems extreme.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's why I said last case scenario.
Give me 1 second. I think if I can type. Oh, nope, that's not a paladin spell. Never mind. Nobody says anything.
He is a man of arcane knowledge. He might be able to suggest something even if he doesn't know it.
Well, I was just thinking he might know mending, but he does not.
No, but Liz does. Can you unmend something with...
Oh, I can unmend something. It just means that there's going to be a hole in the wall.
I mean, yeah, I can permanently unmend something if you really need me to.
Well, I was thinking that he could just suggest that if you disintegrate a not too big hole in the wall, mending or stone shape could probably fix it.
Oh, I don't have stone shape, but I do have mending.
I have shatter.
That might be a little too destructive for this.
But melting a hole in the wall is less destructive.
I mean, could I theoretically bore a hole in the wall with disintegrate as opposed to take out a large chunk of it?
I would think so. Let me read the spell.
I think disintegrate says it erases an area. But also DM rule of cool trumps all.
D&D, where we have a 20-minute argument about structural engineering use of magic spells.
Yep.
I mean, I think... I have this feeling that Liz is just going to conjure up her...
Wibbly boy.
No, not the Wibbly Boy. God, why can't I? Spiritual weapon. And the two of them are going to go ham with the hammers. We'll take out this brick and that brick and this brick and that brick and this brick and that brick.
Is it a brick wall or is it smooth stone?
It's like big stone bricks, not like brick, but like.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it.
3-foot
like
stone
bars.
slabs.
Yeah, like castle stone brick kind of things. So yes, using a hammer to slam into this would give you the material back in your repair efforts. I would let you target a single brick of the wall with disintegrate. So, however you want to do that, you're welcome to if you want to.
If people want me to, I will.
I look at Liz. It's your temple.
Yeah, your wall.
I feel like there's something we're missing, though. But I think thinking that is meta.
I mean, has your dad noticed this or know anything about this?
Yeah, he's been standing here with you the whole time.
Okay. I couldn't remember if he was here.
He is also kind of curious, but is, it's like I want to find out what's going on here, but I don't want to start destroying walls, and he's torn between the two feelings.
Estella?
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes still on?
Yep.
What's Daddy look like?
I look over at Liz's father.
He does not give off a magical creature glow. He is a human man.
Like you're being paranoid.
Just figured I'd ask. She was gone for a while. Who knows what happens when she's gone? Thank you for confirming. Lycra did this all via message, obviously. And once the conversation's gone, she kind of walks 10 feet away and takes a long, deep breath.
Okay. So, different attack approach for now. So, I would like to cast this 30 feet in front of me. Through the wall.
Nice.
Okay. Yes. The eye springs up inside the temple in a room that you are familiar with. We will call it the pantry.
So she went too far.
You can move the eye in.
No, you don't feel like you did. You feel like that is... Well, and you would know, in fact, that's just what's on the other side of this wall. I will, for the player's, I guess, ease of mind, I will tell you that your characters really would have no way or reason to know what's going on here. You have not seen this type of thing in my campaign.
So what I'm following is that Liz was told that this is where people go to communicate deeper with. So I'm thinking that she's thinking that there's like a room that goes down.
I see. There is not a room that goes down.
So this is just an area?
I'll say there's not a room that goes down, at least not right now.
Okay. I'm now using technically meta knowledge. Out of character, do you think this is like how we got to see the gods in Chamy's campaign?
I would say that's a good instinct to follow.
Now we can't follow it because it's 100% meta information.
Right. And like I say, I don't think your characters would really have any way to figure that out. So I don't want the players to become frustrated because their characters don't have access to that knowledge.
Yeah, at this point, it's kind of just like it's a weird thing. I don't know what to do with it.
I suppose we remember this and put it in the back of our minds. Like, there's no magic on it.
Yeah, it's just weird.
I can't see this have occurring without magic of some sort, but it's gone now.
Yeah, it was a temporary effect that is dissipated. It's someone or something did it for a reason. We don't know what the reason is, nor do we have a clue as to how they did it.
It's an odd.
There's no like circular holes in the ground that this weird piece of rock was like originated from, is there? You know what I mean?
Or is it a very distinct piece of rock?
I don't know that you even need to make an investigation check. There's an indent like right in front of where this stone is that you think at least half of it looks like it may have come out of.
Yeah. Is there anything in the indent?
No.
I think this is one of those things that they're a mark on the world from something that happened long ago, and without a lot of time and talking to a lot of dead people, we'll probably never know what really caused it.
My home, and this was not like this when I left it.
Estella or anybody else that's looking at that indent, make a insight check. Okay. Yeah, between you all discussing it between yourself, like, have you ever been walking down a path and tripped over a stone and it pops out of the little indent that it was in and flips forward like 5 inches?
Yerp.
But it ended up in the wall. This is weird.
Yeah,
With those
There's
two
some
over
shenanigans
20
going on.
rolls, the logical thing here, even though it makes no sense, is that the wall wasn't there at the time.
Open.
Can I have Estella roll an intelligence check to try and put 2 and 2 together? Yeah, she's the only one who might. She might have a clue of what's going on.
Can you convince me a little more on why she might have a clue?
Yes, I will DM you.
Okay. Okay. Yes. I will give you at least a yes or a no on that.
Okay.
With a what
Arcana?
were you rolling?
Or
What is religion int also?
yes. A religion?
Hold on, let me pull up your character sheet. Yeah. Yeah, just we'll call it religion, but with proficiency because of Arcana, so just roll Arcana.
Motherfucker!
The dice are telling a story.
I don't know. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I suppose we can always come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Aziraphale, the only idea that he has left is that Liz keep trying divine intervention to ask questions until it works.
16 years later.
Maybe the dice will like it.
Didn't like it yet.
You've cast it once.
What's Liz's Arcana score?
8 plus 8.
I should have set the DC before I rolled.
16 looks good to me.
He is also aware of a spell that sometimes warlocks have access to that lets them contact other greater beings than might be found on the prime material. And wonders whether or not Estella might have it.
Is that... I assume he's not talking about Dream.
No, he's talking about contact other plane.
Other plane? Yeah, I... Nope, don't do that, sorry.
It's the whole don't dip your toes in someone else's pool.
I only got so many spells I can learn.
The only thing I can suggest is maybe checking this place out in the dream, see if anything's different, but...
Yeah, I can take a look. Did we ever look at the spot where all the ley lines converge?
You, I guess, did, but it sounds like you maybe have more specific questions than were previously asked.
Was there anything at that spot that looks like this?
This is that spot.
Oh, this is that spot.
Yes,
My bad.
the ley lines converge directly over this temple.
Directly over this corner of this temple?
I think the ley lines are big enough that we wouldn't be able to say, well, it's exactly 2 feet to the left. I think
right. That's a good
the
point.
temple is the best footprint we're going to get. Because I assume the ley lines are not penciled in and, in fact, rather large.
Yeah, they are. I think a new-ish contrail is a good analog that you would possibly know.
Mm-hmm.
So not huge, but, you know.
Okay. So I will turn to Aziraphale. So is there a way to fix this, like, manually? Do what you did before?
Yes, we will begin the work again. We still have all the rituals and everything.
Can you still do the work?
I can still cast spells. So, yes.
And how long do you think that might take?
Longer than my lifetime.
Can you do it without Daddy?
I can do it with you. And our successors.
I, the player, do not know how to respond to that.
What was the statement again?
He is saying that, this is something that's going to take a very long time, and more than he and Liz will be needed to do it.
It's a monumental task.
It's just a long task.
I was going to say, it is a task of a lifetime kind of thing, right?
Multiple lifetimes, yes. For clarification, he's not saying this is something that has to start right now and you need to stay.
Oh, I had taken it as this is something that needs to happen, start right now, and Liz needs to stay.
No, that is not what he is saying.
As I said, I don't know how to answer this question. So I would like to try some stuff, and I need to go to sleep to do it.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like maybe dreaming and whatever Liz has planned is.
Liz needs to retrain her some spells.
Does anybody have any ideas as to where we could might be able to either find answers or find a way to contact Dioscuri directly? I can try dream, but next success.
Scrying orb unlikely, considering they're probably on another plane of existence. So I need to scry for the thing.
I could pray to them.
You're the one with a connection, so yeah.
Father, do you know where I could get some ointment made out of mushroom powder, saffron, and some other assorted fats? That's worth about 25 gold.
The DM assumes that this is some sort of reagent for a cleric spell.
Affirm.
That is definitely something that they would have in a temple. To the god of magic.
Okay.
Yeah, and he... in fact, I think Liz would probably just know that, the storeroom is down that hall to the left.
All right, I just, I need it for tomorrow, and I was going to have to go get it. I wanted to take care of it tonight.
Mm-hmm. You can have that.
Before Liz leaves, my father goes, checks on the storeroom, and it's all gone.
Nope, it's all still there.
No, Liz takes it before she leaves.
Well, you are the cleric, so that's up to you.
Just one gigantic secret chest full of this, all reagents.
Mm-hmm.
I need to use that spell more often.
Okay, so I will say that a good chunk of the day is spent investigating, trying to think about this, trying to figure things out. And you have arrived at the point where there's nothing else that you can think of outside of things that you have to go to sleep to do, which is convenient because night is falling.
Lycra, would you like to perhaps bring the contents of this letter to the rest of the group?
Yes.
Estella says over the evening meal.
Yes.
It's pretty straightforward. The colony that we set up with the survivors from the island have had a couple of patrols go missing in a cave system related to a redoubt near their...
Point of clarification, Cavum is the name of the redoubt.
Right, sorry.
It's not a cave system involved, it's just a tower.
Near a redoubt named Cavern by their borders, and they've only had one survivor return. I know that this, and she gestures towards the sky, is something that needs to be dealt with over time, but that, and she hands the letter over to whoever wants to read it, is something that we should be able to deal with now. And dealing with things we can deal with makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Do we have a fast way to get to Nerona?
Halfway.
Correct me if you have something else, but as far as I know, the closest you can get by magical means would be Vroggoll itself.
Vroggoll or the island, whichever one's closer, and we don't have a boat at the island, so yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Do you want to leave right now?
I mean, we could stay and see if anything happens if you dream here versus come here remotely. Whatever spell you're planning, Liz, we can always wait on.
It's
8 hours is not going to make a huge difference.
And it seems like you two have at least steps you can try to take, so we might as well try to take them while we're here. But after you've run out of alternative steps, I think this should be a thing we look into next, unless something else of priority comes up. And she's using very diplomatic phrasing. Because whatever the heck's going on in the sky definitely makes her uncomfortable, so she gets why it's top of your priorities.
Liz?
I at least want to stay until morning.
Okay, let's see if we can find anything out between the two of us. We'll revisit it in the morning.
Hey, Nibbles.
Hello.
I know did Estella tell us she saw no magic in the stone?
Yes.
Okay. After dinner's done and everyone starts, heading to their assigned rooms, Lycra just goes over to where the stone was one more time, and just for shits and giggles, she attempts to counterspell, just in case.
There is no valid target for counterspell.
There's nothing to counterspell.
Yes, I know.
Dispel magic is what you're probably looking for.
Yeah, dispel.
But she just tries anyways to see if there's something.
Yeah. No, that's valid. You gain the information that there is nothing there.
Which probably means what I'm going to try isn't going to work, but oh well, we'll see in the morning.
Is Estella dreaming by herself?
Yes.
Just so I can look it up. What are you planning to try in the morning?
True sight.
Okay.
True seeing, sorry.
Jamie.
Oh, do I need to go look at that?
Yes, please. Specifically, the very last clause there. I assume that means something else in this world.
Is it one word or two?
The spell is 2 words, true seeing.
I could have just put it in the chat.
That works too.
Yeah, can you put it in chat?
So basically my question is,
yeah.
does that last part not exist, or does it say something else? And I guess while we're at it, do you think this will work?
I think maybe she would see something.
Okay.
She cannot see into the ethereal plane. But I think she might see something there.
Well, you know, before this all comes up, Liz does show you all to a bedroom. Like one for each of you.
Ooh. Okay. I know what Liz sees.
Okay.
Yes, so you all go to your respective beds for the night.
Yep. I'm gonna dream.
Mm-hmm.
First thing is I'm gonna go back to that alleyway and take a look.
Go ahead and make that Arcana check again.
Oh. Motherfucker.
Well, that was going to be proceeding with advantage this time since you're in the dream, which is where you encountered this before.
2 more.
Yeah. I don't think you get anything.
Yeah.
And I can't give inspiration to a dreamer.
No.
Maybe if I was there, but...
Ugh.
You get the feeling like there's something just out of sight that you can't see, but you can't figure out what it is.
Yeah. Nothing else pops out to me.
The rock is in the ground.
Okay. So it was definitely recent.
Yes.
Okay, well, hopefully Liz has more luck than I did. Before I end the spell, I'm gonna zip back to Vroggoll and take a look at that graveyard.
Okay. It is just a graveyard. You, I assume, will check the back of the specific stone that the rune was engraved in.
Mm-hmm.
It is not there, neither in its unscratched or scratched out state.
Okay.
So you can assume again that this is also very recent.
Okay.
But it is not extra spooky or anything.
Extra spoopy.
The spook.
I am debating whether to end it and cast it again. Go talk to somebody.
Believe there's rules, only one dream per night.
You're correct. Okay, that's it.
Only one dream per session, if you want to do that and just say we have that later, because I assume you're talking to secret people.
Secret people.
We could do that during the week if you want.
Yeah, let's talk about it during the week because. Yeah, let's talk about it during the week.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. All right. The rooster crows, and it is now morning. Everybody take the effects of the long rest, including switching spells out.
Hey, Nibbles.
Uh-oh. All right, what you asking?
Oh, God, what do I ask?
Lycra begins following Liz around playing...
Liz hasn't left her room yet.
Oh, damn. Well, then I'm
Did
just
you
playing...
Succeed?
Yeah.
That's a 4.
Nice. You must have rolled it to GM.
Yeah.
I always roll it to GM. You have no idea how often Liz uses this.
I do.
You know what? Fuck it. Liz asks, can we get through that pass? Or no, I want us to get through that pass. And now we end the session for another week.
Good session, all. Bye.
I am disturbed by the lack of agency the deity has in its feature.
If you really hate it, I will retract it
No,
and just be like, how to get through.
You have these features for a reason.
Yeah, but this feature is also one of the most hated one by DM, and I don't want to cause you guys issues. Like, I am more than happy to work with you. I was not expecting this to work.
So you get a yes. I don't really know how it's communicated, but Liz knows that she should go walk down that corridor again. I'm just trying to figure out how to describe what happens.
Is she going alone?
She said we.
Okay. Yeah. You are. I don't think there's any like verbal or anything. You just suddenly become aware that you should go walk down that little cul-de-sac again.
Does Liz get the feeling, or does everyone get that feeling?
Just Liz.
How strong is the feeling?
I mean, it's not a compulsion. It's just a wordless answer to your request, basically. Make an insight check. There is a reluctance to this as well. You think that, how would I describe this? Not quite, but almost like a child holding a broken thing behind their back. You get like just a little tinge of that on there as well.
Like, show me, and they're reluctant and don't want to show us something broken?
Yes, exactly.
Does Liz have to go scold her god?
I don't think she gets that feeling. That it's not a perfect description. It's just more that there is something they don't necessarily want you to see.
I don't know what to do.
Is that Ty or Liz?
That's both. I want to know. Liz wants to know. Liz doesn't want to disappoint her god.
Well, for Ty, in that 30 seconds of stammering, I have figured out what's going to happen when you go in there. So don't feel like you're screwing me over. For Liz, that's up to you.
Okay, anybody else want to go while I think?
I got nothing to do right now.
This
This isn't my arc.
I am reporting back to everybody that my dream got me nowhere.
I think Liz goes by herself.
Okay. So as you walk down that cul-de-sac, it is much, much longer. You see the rock, now fully revealed, just sitting there. And as you pass it, you slowly transition to being inside somewhere. Eventually reaching a room with marble columns and flowing water features and Mediterranean type potted plants all around. And standing in the middle of the room is just an absolute Adonis of a man. He's just wearing a loose-fitting white robe, and he greets you. Hello.
How tall is he?
Like 6'2"-ish.
Does Liz feel like there's only half there?
Not that you can tell by looking. If you want to use a feature or make a roll or something, you might gain some more information.
Religion check?
Yeah. Okay. You get the sense you definitely feel as though you are in the presence of a fully formed god. And everything that goes along with that.
Should I not be here?
Oh, I will admit that I haven't communed with my cleric in a very long time. Perhaps that is to my detriment.
I feel like you're always there. But Father says he can't hear.
A very brief look of what you could only call grief flashes across his face. It's like a micro expression. And he says, I have unfortunately lost that channel of communication.
How can I fix it?
Unfortunately, I do not think there is a way. I think even without an insight roll, you can tell there's definitely something he's not saying.
Is this connected to the god in Corwin? Corwin's head being gone?
He looks slightly confused and asks that you explain further.
She goes into details about the fact that Corwin had a god in his head, and it seems to have died, and at the same time, Corwin also died and made a deal with death?
He would interrupt at the part where you claim that Agma has died, and explain gods don't die. They lose their ability to connect with your world in general and their followers, and without that connection, I suppose it is a form of death, but they continue to exist after a fashion, just unable to. And he kind of trails off. After a moment, he comes back to the present and continues a different thought. I would imagine that the severing of that tether, when as personal as you describe with your friend, could very easily result in his death. Meaning Corwin's death. So basically what he is saying is that when Corwin's connection with Agma was severed, it was a lot and he died.
A very violent severing. And there's no way to bring that connection back?
I have always espoused the mantra that there is nothing that is impossible, but if there is such a way, it is not known to me. And he says this, it's more personal than telling that kind of fact you would think should be. Like, he's feeling something when he says this.
Sorry, I am thinking, and I am.
No, you're fine.
I am. There's a request that I know she'd make that would completely fuck us over.
Okay.
Can you move my connection with you to Father?
Unfortunately, I cannot. I understand your desire, but and he trails off again. Make a persuasion check.
These not be good. This is not what this was made for.
Now I have to think of how he explains this.
Liz Dice be telling a story, yo.
No. I think he stumbles for a moment. Not physically, but like he seemed like he was going to launch into some explanation, but even as he started saying it, he could tell that it was not going to be convincing. And he just stammers off into nothing and then says, that's not possible.
By the way, I realized afterwards that's probably what she would have wished for. Like what her request from her god would have been, not the gateway, but you know, I the player and I the Liz are not always the same connections.
I really don't know how that would have gone, because it's actually not possible.
But Liz doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, divine intervention is not a wish spell.
I know, but it's designed to solve a problem, and that's a problem she has.
As the two of you stand there, excuse me, as the two of you stand there, a little unsure what to say to each other, he looks like he suddenly remembers something. He says, one moment, please, I will return shortly. And walks off through a door to the left, quietly shuts it behind him, and you do not see him for a moment. If there's anything you wish to do in the meantime.
What's this place like?
It's actually very similar to the temple. It's just a lot of Greek-looking architecture.
Is it disheveled in any way, or is it like
No.
everything's pristine?
Yeah, everything's pristine. Very austere is not the right word. You know, there's a lot of marble, a lot of columns, plants and water features, various I don't know what those things are called, like the couches that you lay on instead of sit on. That kind of thing.
Nibbles, can I just say that your fan in the background kind of sounds like rushing water? You should keep your mic open.
Please don't keep your mic open. So I'm gonna remind you that Liz was trained to explore, to find out magic, and she's literally part of the cleric of a god of magic. She's gonna throw detect magic up and follow any lead she can find.
I mean, this place is all magic.
Is there anything brighter than something else?
Does she go
If
blind?
not, can I just throw an investigation up and see what happens?
I will just say, other than what you can see in this room, which is, this is basically like a greeting hall. So there are other doors and hallways off of this room. You don't get anything interesting in this room. I won't even have you roll because there's nothing here to find. But there are 3 other doorways out of this room. There's the door to your left that he went through, one straight ahead, and one to the right.
Straight ahead.
Okay. You enter a short hallway, and at the end of that hallway is an opening into a grand, almost like a greenhouse, basically. Just an indoor garden. And you do, with Detect Magic up, get something in this room, which is a diminishing of all the magic in the garden. There is a bench down a pathway to the left, and it is surrounded by what could only be described as a small explosion crater.
Okay.
And it is less magic there.
Like, does it feel like the magic's being drained out, or there's just an absence of magic there?
An absence, yeah.
And this is in a world of where everything is magic.
Yes.
Liz will go investigate despite I know what it is.
Okay. Make a perception check. Okay. So you're not getting a whole lot here. It looks like an explosion happened near this bench. But what you do hear is the door back in the entrance hall open.
How far back is it?
60 feet.
Run 30 feet, teleport 30 feet.
Okay. As his back is facing the room as he is pulling the door shut. And he turns around and says, "I apologize. There was something I needed to tend to momentarily."
So, I'll be honest, I couldn't help but not, try to figure this place out. And there's just a lack of something in that direction.
He looks both proud and disappointed at the same time. Gives a bit of a sigh and turns to the door that he just came out of and says, the problem with choosing the most clever and curious cleric is that it's very difficult to hide things from them. And walks over to the door and opens it for you.
The one she just teleported through?
No, the one he went in previously and just came back out of.
She goes through the door.
Okay. He leads you down what looks like just a hallway in a house with rooms branching off of it with more doors on them. And takes you to one at the very end on the left and opens it. And inside you see what is basically a bedroom that has been converted into a sick room. And laying on the bed in what appears to be a coma is someone who looks like him. And he gestures to the bed and says, "This is my brother." We were attacked. I do not know how they got here or how they attacked us. But what you saw, and this, he gestures towards the bed again, is the result.
Did this attack cause the ley lines to go ablaze?
The effort to maintain our work is too much for me alone to bear.
Despite this having no chance to do anything, Liz will go up and cast. I was gonna say cure wounds, but this is literally her god's domain. Does she just maybe possibly have access to all her spells?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, well, the God, I don't even think she knows cure wounds. She doesn't. She doesn't have that available.
Make a medicine check.
No, we're going with something different.
Okay.
Hey, that's why I can't find it. One moment.
Can you actually link the spell?
Yep. Sorry. That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I'm aware this is not going to do anything. This is
Yeah,
all
I'm
RP.
just trying to think how to describe how it doesn't do anything.
It's
I
probably like a drop in a massive bucket.
Well, that's the point. I think the spell just fizzles because there is no the problem here is not a lack of hit points. He is physically, as far as you can tell, is completely fine. And you recall I don't think he said this, but now that you know that they're both here, we will just call him Pollux. You recall Pollux's explanation of what happened to Ogma. And this is basically the same thing.
Did Jamie had a breakdown back there?
Castor and Pollux.
Ah.
I would invite everybody else to go check out the Wikipedia entry for Castor and Pollux.
I was expecting this to be his sister, to be honest.
Nope, they're brothers.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember some of the stuff you told me a while ago, okay? Namely that Liz's god gets presented as both genders.
Ah, I see what you mean.
So does the spell fizzle, or does no healing go out?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, this is not actually how the spell works, but he is essentially not a valid target because he's not missing any of his hit points.
Okay. More wondering, does Liz take 45 damage?
We will say no, because magic works a little different here, sure.
Okay. So the way this worked in my head is Liz reached up a knife that, just kind of appeared out of nowhere. She brought to cut herself to do the damage, and it just passed through her.
Yeah, that's good.
Also, Liz is not wearing her gloves. There must be some way to He's right there. My father is out there and still very much believes in him. There has to be some way to reconnect that.
He doesn't actually in this moment seem to even be capable of saying something, but he doesn't say anything, and just a look of either helplessness or hopelessness, or perhaps both, tells you that anything that you could possibly think of, he has probably already tried.
Is it just hopeless?
I do not know.
And you don't know who did this? Or why they do this?
No. Unfortunately, in defending myself, the mortal that somehow gained access to our realm is no longer in the position to answer any questions. And the way he said this brings the explosion that you saw to mind.
Oh. I assume there was nothing to search to get answers from.
Any mortal that is given the information and ability to do such a thing, I imagine, would have been well, protected isn't the right word, but I doubt they would have been able to tell me much of anything anyway.
I'm sorry for your loss. We will. Well, I don't know if we have the ability to do anything to put a stop to them, but if I am your cleric, and if you need help, just point me in the right direction.
The most important thing, and you can tell that he doesn't agree with this, but he's saying it anyway, is the recovery of that crystal sphere. After that, perhaps there will be more that we can do.
What? So Liz has never heard anything about the crystal sphere from her side of things other than go investigate massive power over there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm
this
sure we
baffles.
explained it to her.
Yeah, Liz didn't know, was sent there to go look for giant crystal energy source, not a crystal thing.
Yeah.
So
the instructions that Liz was initially given were a little more cryptic than he is being right now.
what do you know of the crystal thing?
A magical artifact made at the direction of a god. I wasn't sure which until now. No, he doesn't say sure. I didn't know which until now. Is very rare and very dangerous, even in the right hands. Having it stolen from the right hands is potentially catastrophic on an order of magnitude similar to, and he points at the ceiling, but you assume he's pointing at the sky, but not the sky here, the sky over your world.
The burning ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where it is?
My influence on the world in general is limited to you as my conduit. And even that is lessened now. I need you to function as my agent in your world to discover these things. I will continue to empower you to do so.
Then I will use my powers, or I will use your powers that you let me use to do your bidding. And on a completely out of character thought, God, I wonder what would happen if Liz tried to make magical items here.
I don't know.
One cast, instant completion of level 9 magic item. Well, I guess we have a mission to do.
I wish you good fortune. Is Liz ready to leave?
I don't feel like I will ever be allowed back here again. May I look around?
He gives the little frown that you give when you're thinking and says, "At this time, I am afraid you have stayed long enough for your presence here to become dangerous to you. However, the reason behind our limited access to this realm, to our servants isn't the right word.
Conduits?
Yes, conduits. Thank you. No longer exists. So this realm will not remain closed to you forever."
She gives a little nod and respects the request. And heads out of the, makes her way back to the prime material?
As you indicate that you are ready to leave, he lays his hand on your shoulder, and a warm glow of light surrounds you, and you find yourself standing back at the door, finger quotes. The glow persists on your shoulder where he touched you, and it feels like it sinks down into your skin. Please add to your character sheet the Warcaster feat. And as you reappear at the doorway, you see your father standing there. Or your dad, I'm sorry, I can't remember which is which.
Father.
Aziraphale is there.
Gonna be honest, I probably switched before, but at
Yeah.
this point it's father and dad.
Mm-hmm. And he meets eyes with you. Says, "Is everything okay?"
No.
He nods. Well, I think I'd better see for myself. And steps through the wall.
The fuck?
You get the sense that the door was still open for him.
I still think the fuck is a valid response.
What do you do?
How long was she in there?
Judging by the sun, it is pretty close to midday.
Hey, anyone see Liz?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
I think Liz went in there at 5 a.m.
Okay, it's more like 10 then.
Like, reminder, we've established that Liz sleeps from 1 to 4, or 1 to 5, so.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was the first thing she did when she woke up.
Okay. So yeah, for everybody else, you've probably been awake for like 3 hours.
Lycra spent 2 hours looking for Liz and has spent the last hour drinking lemon tea.
Lemon tea. And a reminder, you all did know that Liz had a plan for the morning, so maybe it's not that weird.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a, oh yeah, she was off doing something. Okay.
Yeah, I guess she got started without us. How long is this gonna take?
Brews another pot of tea.
Assuming that you all are hanging around Aziraphale at all, whoever is near him, around about 9:30, if we're going by time, he says, I need to go take care of something, and also disappears. Or, well, walks away. He doesn't disappear. And then a half hour later, and a couple minutes, I guess, Liz comes back.
Liz looks haunted and glowing.
Both figuratively and very slightly literally.
Any luck?
Eh?
I met my god and his brother.
That makes a lot more sense. Well, there's two of you.
Tea?
Did you say tea or he?
Tea. Glass pushed across the table.
Yeah, Liz puts her gloves back on and slowly sips on the tea.
Estella sits across from Liz, so
They were attacked.
Okay.
Somehow a mortal got into their realm and it severed the link to the moral realm for one of them, I guess, and was no longer in existence before he could get to my god.
That I turned to Corwin. That sounds kind of similar to what happened to Ogma.
So we
Isn't
got
it?
some entity out here trying to nix gods.
We know who it was.
Whom? Sorry, I the player missed it.
Cyric.
Okay, so
Well, you know that was the one that went after Agma.
Yeah, we know
you
that's the
are
one that went after-
assuming that this
Yes.
is the one that went after Pablo.
That is correct. I mean,
it's not a bad assumption. I'm just saying you don't actually know that.
yes, I think for a lot of us, it looks like a duck. It walks like a duck.
Yeah,
quacks like a duck. It's a duck.
yeah.
And if it's not him directly, it's one of his associates.
If Cyric is trying to remove knowledge, going after the god of magic makes a lot of sense. After the god of knowledge.
Probably should have asked what my father's god was.
You could gather that they are both the god of magic.
Okay.
Because he mentioned that specifically the ley lines was a project that they had worked on together, just like the cleric and paladin had been working on together.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't think your characters would have any way to know this, but just as a fun little meta knowledge for you all, their secrecy about the fact that there was two of them is the only thing that saved casters, or saved the one that didn't get stabbed.
Yeah.
Because the guy only brought one knife. It was slightly less defensive than he led you to believe.
Okay.
I need to. She's stumbling over her own words. That thing you made in the desert. We need to find that.
Yeah, that's the goal. In fact, I will pull out the scrying orb and see if we can get any more information on it.
All right. I will just again remind you to stack as many bonuses as you can.
Yeah. Guys, give me buffs.
Did we try that?
Not
Already?
since the Feywild.
Not since the Feywild. We've been putting it off.
I don't think I have any buffs to give you.
Full on enhanceability and guidance. Give me all that jazz.
I can give you calm emotions.
All like her all the time.
Well, this can give you guidance.
Do it. What spell check is it again?
I think it's just your spell casting check, right?
Yes.
She gives the look of encouragement.
Inspiration?
Yep, inspiration has been applied.
Okay.
I don't know what song Lycra's playing, but it's something.
Oh, sorry, no, it's an Arcana check.
Okay. Let me turn on the buffs. Advantage.
Oh, it's Dark of the Moon.
Alright. Let's roll this and then give us the inspiration after. $30?
Okay, that is a success. You are not in danger of any negative effects from this. However, you gain further information that the sphere is not on this plane.
Well, It's not on the Prime material either. I have a sick feeling in my stomach, folks.
Would you like to voice that feeling and possibly make an insight check? Voice the feeling before making the insight check.
I think we may have to go to hell.
Make an insight check.
Like or side statement?
You do recall recently hearing about a war that has very recently started in hell.
And that was a powerful weapon I created.
Well,
sorry. What was Liker saying or doing?
Lycra's side statement. Well, Estella did open a portal to the fire plane at one point while we were there.
So very technically,
What?
you all closed a portal to the fire plane.
Opened, closed, manipulated.
No, the reason I say hell is because the things that stole it were demons or devils or somewhere in between.
I mean, that is a pretty safe assumption, but I think it's still an assumption.
Yeah.
Because there was those two that we saw after it went missing, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's the only lead I can think of aside from if we find more of those guys, we interrogate the shit out of them.
I think if I could maybe manipulate Corwin's brain for a moment, the detail that he is more strongly focusing on is the fact that you heard about a war starting in hell recently.
Yeah. I specifically will mention that. If demons are looking for a weapon to give them an edge in a war in hell, that thing I created could very well be that edge.
Wait.
That's a strong link in my brain.
Where does the war in hell thread come from? I'm trying to remember.
When you were most recently in the place I can't think of the name of at the moment.
Nerona?
Covington. The last time you were in Covington, you came across a Cambion getting kicked out of a bar and had to snot beat out of him by the bouncers. And when you, I believe, intervened or went up to talk to him afterwards, he gave you some details. Basically, he's a refugee from hell trying to avoid this war that just started. And at the time, I believe I had told you that he was a blue-skinned Cambion. I have since retconned that to him being a red-skinned Cambion.
I wonder if we can find him and beat them into more answers.
Lycra, what does it say in your letter? Isn't there something about an increase in new refugees recently?
That sounds like a good spot to check.
Now, just, I guess I was away while you were making this thing. And so maybe there's a little piece that I'm missing here. Like, I understand that this thing you made is the powerful magical thing. But if it's in hell, like why are we going there to intervene in a war in hell? Like, isn't that their problem?
Points at Liz.
God told me to. Because a weapon that powerful, even in the right hands, is dangerous. In the wrong hands, it could be catastrophic.
Hmm.
One moment. Sorry, I'm typing a secret message.
I feel like this is one of those. Just follow the plotline, guys. Don't question it.
I'm following because it's the biggest thread we found.
I don't see actually. Like, there is a war, yes, but I don't see a big connection to the crystal. And like just plopping into a war that we did not even know who is fighting who, let alone who of them took the thing.
I think it's the best lead we have.
It would be very, very dangerous.
I would like insight from Corwin and or Liz.
Liz can read your mind.
Second.
Sorry, were secrets happening?
One moment.
Okay.
Trying to figure out exactly what Liz is picking up on here.
So, guys, after the scene, I might need to dip.
Okay. Sorry, give me one moment. I'm gonna drag.
Dip like break?
No, like
like
stuff going on upstairs that I need to go deal with for an extended period of time.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. In response to that, Cathanid, I'm not sure how much more we have. But just go ahead and dip out whenever you have to.
Okay.
And we will let you know.
In terms of Corwin's focus this is the biggest lead we've had on this thing, and it's something he wants to pursue. So,
okay,
that's how he would enter any discussion or argument about it going forward.
Gotcha.
I apologize. It's just something that no one else can take care of. I gotta go do it.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Right. Sorry, guys.
No worries. Bye.
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 Take care.
If this is something we're going to pursue, it seems like we should head to Nerona, both to deal with this thing that Lycra has been asked to do, But if there is a bunch of people from hell hanging around Nerona, that's a good place for us to start. Not that I'm really crazy about getting involved in a war in hell, but
Your objection is reasonable and justified. Liz, do you need to do anything else special?
I need to make sure my father gets back safe.
For the sake of Liz's peace of mind, as you all are sitting there discussing for several hours, in the middle of the afternoon, your father does also return. He has been given a similar amount of information as you, albeit a little less evasively done so. So he's up to speed on what's going on, and seems upset, but a little relieved at the same time. Like hey, this is a problem, but at least I know what's going on now.
Liz just gives him a little nod.
He looks at Liz with a concerned look and places a hand on your shoulder and says, "This is a heavy burden for you to bear alone, but I will help as I can."
I will do my best. Where's that note that was posted earlier?
The letter?
It's in Lycra's journal, or Lycra's section.
There it is. Someone might have been a little distracted and didn't actually read it.
That is entirely understandable. All right. So the rest of the day winds on with everybody discussing the events and what to do next.
So, Liz,
Yeah.
this leyline situation, we just can't do anything about it right now. That's the crux of the situation.
Unfortunately, I don't.
Are there shops here?
No, this is just a temple.
Correct me if I'm not wrong. There's like one somewhere off there. There's a town nearby, isn't there?
Yeah, there's within traveling distance, but not where you are currently. You'd have to travel there.
Well, we're going back to Vroggoll. Remind me when we get back to the city to buy a wig.
How is her hair doing?
It's back to normal now.
It's been more than a day. It's back to normal.
Just want to be prepared. I'm going to be dealing with this for an extended period of time. Estella seems very not happy.
All right. With Cathanid and Quasta sort of half here, I would, unless there's something specifically at the temple that you all intend to do, probably should call it here.
There is actually something I want to do, and I will send it to you in a DM.
Okay.
Secrets.
Checking in with everybody else, it seems like the general consensus is that you will be heading to Nerona next, yes?
Yeah. At least that's that's kind of the direction Estella wants to go anyways, even without all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thing that I want to do that keeps getting put off.
Oh, Muffin!
You were going to say something, David?
Well, I think Lycra would touch in with Alduin and Brain turn back on other dragon. Vroggoll dragon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To see whether or not there's any chance of assistance with getting there sooner is available.
Okay. Other than flying you, he wouldn't be able to fly the entire group. No.
Yeah, it's all
he
good.
He is also slightly confused because he thought you were in Vroggoll and was looking forward to seeing you.
Aww.
Yes, we'll be back tonight, tomorrow, at the latest. When the ley lines ripped, we needed to go look at what was happening in Liz's home. And she'll probably waste like 6 or 7 spell slots, A, catching him up, and B, romantic jibber-jabber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is very much looking forward to seeing you. And I have gone this entire session with forgetting to have people roll wild magic.
We've been casting some low-level spells.
Yeah.
Well, I missed one dream.
That's true. It hasn't been that much, actually.
It's level 3 and higher, right?
Yep.
So, Lycra has to roll like 6 times.
I will just let you know if there's anything interesting that happens. Can I get one from you also, Ty? Okay. I don't think Estella tried to speak when she was in the dream because she was there by herself, so that doesn't matter. One of your message spells, Lycra, is just gibberish because you are confused. You get the shield again. Your room is full of butterflies. Oh, that's so you were casting these message spells, I assume, in your room, sitting cross-legged on your bed, and you suddenly find yourself sitting in the chair across the room.
I know I sometimes pace when I talk, but damn it.
And for Liz's, you have the effect of levitate on you for 10 minutes.
So she was just levitating Willow.
Yeah, so during the conversation about... Well, I assume you cast it right about then, at that same time, Ty?
She probably walked out and came back in levitating.
Okay, so while you all were talking about hell and all that, Liz walked out for a moment and came floating back in.
So all these random magic effects, more than being dangerous or something like that, gives me the sense of like an episode of a random episode of Sabrina, the teenager witch.
It's not a bad analog, really. Like, so the idea here is that magic has just gone a little funky.
Like I feel like Liz goes out walking, comes back floating, and a laugh track goes off.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Nibbles, can one of these be a laugh track?
I'll put it in. We'll replace 70, 97, and 98 with a laugh track.
I wonder what 100 is.
Shamie already found out. She regained all her expended sorcery spells. Or sorcery points.
Sorcery points. Whoopee!
Are you just literally using the wild magic?
Yeah, it's just a wild magic table.
There's one that says a fireball explodes and center on you.
Yeah, that one has been changed. Anything that could like cause a serious problem has been changed.
Yeah, I guess that's not the point of this.
No. There's nothing here that will kill you or accidentally kill anything else.
I appreciate that.
I was waiting for the fireball.
I was waiting to go cast Thunderstep and cause a fireball to happen.
So anything else from anybody at the temple?
No.
So.
Okay, so
Let's find anything random with that spell she cast.
I don't think so.
Okay, it does last an hour, so.
I have to imagine that Andrea might look a little weird, but I don't know in what way. Like, it would be something that communicates the fact that her 4 personalities are a little more distinct than they should be.
Is it like Andrea in front and like the other 3 just looking over her shoulders?
It would be more like, you know how sometimes like you get a visual effect of, like the video for Bohemian Rhapsody, where they like rainbow out of one person. You know what I'm talking about?
I was
I know the song. I don't, and I know like the part of the video where like all 4 heads are popping up, but that's about it.
No, that's not that part. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
all I was thinking was, is she just a holographic trading card? Depending on which angle you look at her, you see a different face.
Kind of like this, but just 4 of them, and closer together. We'll say that's what it looks like. But no, other than that, nothing really pops out at you.
And I bet they look like different emotions at different times. Trombone champ.
Okay, so we will, at the beginning of next arc, come back to right here. You all can do whatever you need to do from here. However, by way of giving you something interesting to think about over the break, when you arrive at Nerona, Corwin just mutters to you all, pointing at a person walking down the street. Hey, isn't that the elf that we saw in Candlekeep?
Could you remind us what elf?
So when when Corwin was snooping around the audience chamber of the Queen, and then later when you were all in there was an elf that stood out to Corwin as not necessarily belonging, and then this is the same elf that threw the first punch in that brawl that started allowing you all to cast the Dispel Magic. Corwin is thinking that that elf right there is this same elf.
Hey, I know that guy.
Liz looks baffled.
And that's where we'll end.
Now, when you say next session, or next arc, do you mean you're trading off to Chamie, or do you mean we're just doing downtime?
Yes, this is a trade-off.
So next week will be board games, to give me a little bit of time to get set up.
I would suggest it has been traditional that we do 2 weeks the past couple, if you need extra time.
Hold on a second. I was working. Is this the last session of the season?
Yes, it is.
Oh, I missed that.
It was just brought up.
So I only need 1 week, I think, but there might be a week in the middle. Also, I have two weeks of band concerts in the next, or in one in November and one in December. I will let Cathanid know separately, but just since I have you all here. This next arc is going to be split up into 2. There's going to be a first half, and then there's going to be an interlude of a game that is not D&D, and then there's going to be a second half. I just wanted to let you guys know so you're not totally taken off guard when I say, like, okay, next week we're playing something else.
What are we playing?
Do you remember going to PAX Unplugged and me buying a game and being like, yeah, we're going to play this in D&D one day?
Remember? No.
We finally got there.
I don't remember what the game is because I have a short memory. Really?
It was 2 years ago. It was almost 3 years ago.
Oh God, it is almost 3 years ago.
I mean, it will be 3 years by the time we get there, probably.
Yeah.
So
really not that short of a memory. I'm not going to tell you because it might spoil a couple things.
Spoilers.
Great. Now I'm going to spend the next freaking couple months.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
Does everybody else want to know, or should I just tell Ty?
Sure,
tell us.
We're going to be playing Fiasco.
Okay.
That tells me nothing.
That's not concerning.
That's not concerning.
I don't even know what Fiasco does. I'm just going off the title.
I've watched many games of Fiasco played. This is bad.
It will be interesting to see how we get there.
You will be playing Fiasco not as your D&D characters.
Ah.
Okay?
I don't know if that's more or less concerning.
I think we're probably going to need 2 weeks for it because we're such a big group. But,
Plus, just getting into the game. If you have a video or stream or example playthrough that you would most want us to use to familiarize with the system, maybe drop it closer to the time.
Yeah, I will.
Well, Whedon played it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I'd seen a Wheaton episode, but I couldn't remember.
I missed that series.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he does not get along with the group that owns Geek and Sundry at the moment.
Isn't it like a big corporation?
Yeah. Which is the same reason we haven't gotten another season of You Get a Party and a Beer Bash. Titan's Grave.
Mm-hmm.
Is fan noticeable in my mic?
Talk a little more.
Is the fan at all noticeable with the mic with this angle?
No, there was like a little bit of something, but I think your noise canceling is picking it up.
Well, also I've got the mic turned so that the monitor's basically blocking the direction the fan can blow towards the mic.
Why do you need a fan when it's this fucking cold outside?
Because houses are boxed. Opened my window before we started D&D, so now that my computer's been on for 4 hours, it's kind of warm. And by kind of warm, I mean like 22, 24.
I'm considering crawling under a blanket.